Oh, what is this?
I started digging out a basement. So, because the dirt collapses, it's easier to do it layer by layer and put cobble in as you go to prevent the collapse.
Okay.
But I can't quite finish this corner because of the bit kiln.
Okay.
And then when we have the copper pick, we can chip out a couple of layers of this rock. Because the way food storage works is once we've made those meals, we can store them in crocks, and then we can use that wax or the fat to seal the crock, and then put it in a basement, in a dark basement, fully enclosed by rock or stone with a door, and the game reads it as an actual basement. So certain foods we can actually preserve them for over a year.
Oh wow, that's awesome. I like that. I like that idea.
Obviously,
Let's do it.
It depends on what kind of food. Most meals can be 70 days. Grains is like several years. Berries decay very quick, but if you turn it into a jam, they can last for a good half a year as well. But that's basically how you get through winter. You stockpile for the winter, turn your berries into jam, preserve your meat, cook the meals, shove it in a crock, and then you can shelve it underground.
Okay.
So I always start at the basement.
Shift works from not falling off the edge.
So yeah, well, as soon as that copper pick's done, the game will open up a little bit more. So once we've got the copper pick and the copper hammer, we can go over there, because I've marked the copper, we'll dig it up. We can then use that to make a saw that will allow us to cut planks. And then with the planks we can make crates, the chests, doors, you know, your wooden flooring, all that stuff. The game will open up a bit more at that point.
Okay.
Yeah, getting to copper age is the first step.
What is this? Ingot mold?
Yeah. So when you melt down the metals in the crucible, you basically pour them into the casts or the molds.
Okay.
So a lot of things can be poured straight into a cast. If you've got metal left over, you can turn it into an ingot. Some items have to be made from an ingot, can't be cast. But we need an anvil to get that far.
Okay.
But yeah, that's all to come. We're not that far away from it now, we just needed the pick and the hammer.
Okay, cool. So all that sifting's gonna pay off. That's what you're saying?
Oh yeah, for sure, yeah.
Cool. Alright. Awesome.
So I didn't find much copper in the wild. I mean, it might just be we've got a bad luck spawn.
Yeah, could be that. But
It happens.
we'll turn it into a good luck place.
Yeah.
It'll work out in the long run.
Yeah, we'll have windmills and all kinds of mechanical crap before we know it.
Till we restart the server. Then we gotta do it all over again.
Oh, there we are. Speaking of luck, they've all finished. There we go. So we've got one more clay vessel there for storage. That's the hammer molds.
Pick mold.
Yep, pick molds.
Crocks.
That's the crucible.
Oh, and that's the landslide.
And then these crocks are to store the meals in. So for now, I'm just going to chuck them there.
Okay. Cool.
So you can have up to 4 servings per crock, so basically 4 bowls worth. So 2 meals each per crock.
Okay. I like it.
So yeah, we're getting there. The steps are done.
Alright. Exciting. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, I need the crucible. Let's put the crucible on the fire pit.
There's no fire on this fire pit.
Okay, crucible in the fire. So we need... where did we put them? 40 of these. Actually, we've got 60, so I can probably throw one into an ingot as well already.
I feel like I'm jumping on the bed.
Yeah, they're a little bit bouncy. Okay, so if you look in that crucible...
Okay. Oh, there's copper in there.
Yeah, so each piece of copper is 5 units. Well, each nugget is 5 units of copper.
Okay.
So all of that in total will create 300. So it's 100 units per ingot or cast. So that'll give us 3. So we can do the hammer, the pickaxe, and we can have an ingot left over ready to make the sword. I'm going to preheat it with wood so we can save copper, because it doesn't actually melt until 1084 degrees C. Wood only burns to 700.
That food lasts a long time.
Yeah, it's much better that way. Okay, now that it's actually hit temperature, now it starts melting. So So it doesn't even start melting until you actually hit temperature. And I think we've already gone through like 4 logs and 2 charcoal.
Yep.
Okay, this is smelted. You ready to pour it?
Okay, wait, let me see. I wanna see. What are we doing?
Okay, so in this version we have asbestos hands. So I can just hold this even though it's red hot. But in 1.18 I believe they've added tongs.
Okay.
But now that it's molten.
Wow. Oh wow, okay. That looks dangerous. I don't feel like you should be able to do that.
Yeah, the next version they've added tongs, so you won't be able to just pick them up. And obviously we can't pick them up now, because we have to wait for them to set. Well, wait for them to cool.
Okay.
It should tell you, but I think I pressed the shortcut key that turns that off.
Yeah, I don't see that either. I do see it getting colder, but I don't see there's like not a time for it on there.
Yeah, I can just see the temperature dropping at the top.
Yeah, that's all I see.
I think when it's 300 degrees it's okay.
Okay.
Which is still unrealistic, but whatever.
Yeah, I wouldn't be picking up anything 300 degrees. Probably not anyway. You never know. I do some weird things.
Come on, cool down. It's going to be nighttime before this is done, isn't it?
Probably.
Yeah, it looks like the sun's going down slowly.
Are we saving this dirt block here for anything?
That was just so I could climb out once I put the blocks in.
Oh, okay, so we're putting blocks down in here?
Yeah, this will be the basement under the house for basically food preservation. If you have a room, it doesn't need to be underground, but I just prefer to its basement. If it's surrounded by stone and it's small enough, it gets counted as a basement.
Okay.
So all the storage vessels you have, in fact, if I show you on a normal storage vessel, if you look at these 2 clay storage vessels we got in here, on the tooltip at the top, it says food perish speed.
Perish speed.
Yeah, it's on the tooltip at the top when you look at the vessel. If you're not seeing the tooltips, then just press B. That should toggle them on and off.
Okay. Yeah, okay. I see what you mean, yeah.
Yeah, so if you open the vessel on the left and then hover over, say, the raw red meat, it says fresh for 1.2 days.
Yeah.
Yeah, so everything spoils. But what I'm basically doing with that house here is making a basement. So long as it's made of stone, has a door on it, and it's the right size, it basically increases that buff even more. So it is possible to keep meats preserved for a couple of months. Jams and grains can be preserved for sometimes up to several years.
Okay, that's good.
So, yeah, I always start with the basement and build up. Because we have dirt collapse on, it's easy to do it layer by layer so the whole thing doesn't just cave in.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense, because, gravity.
Yeah, so that's just prep, basically, for winter food storage and preservation.
Okay, cool.
Same with these crocks. I think I just pick one up. So if I place it there, take the big pot of food we've got, and now it's inside that crock. So that says now fresh for 9.6 days because it's inside that crock.
Okay.
Put that on a shelf inside a basement. It'll go up to around an average of 22 days, assuming it's fresh out the actual cooking pot.
Okay, nice. That's very not bad.
I think if I stick it in this vessel, it'll be even more. Yeah, now it's 10.4 days inside the vessel, so it's an extra day.
Okay, interesting.
Okay, so these are ready. Ingots you can just store straight on the floor.
Okay.
And I'm just gonna, because you don't need to do this, but it's just satisfying.
Oh. Okay.
But yeah, with the tongs in 1.18, I think that's going to become a necessity.
Okay. Doesn't that make it more brittle though?
I have no idea. I know that putting it in water is known as, is it called tempering?
Yeah, I don't know. I think if you let it cool naturally by itself, it makes it harder.
Yeah, you could be right. I know there is tempering that uses water, but I'm not going to pretend to be an actual blacksmith.
Yeah, there's it's a whole science on when to quench it, when not to quench it, and it's a whole thing.
Certainly is. But we now have a copper pick and a copper hammer.
Oh, nice. What's the hammer for?
The hammer is, I'll show you when we get to it, but basically let's just pretend there's actual copper stone, instead of the little nuggets we've been picking up. When you smash them with your pick, you will basically get chunks of rock with copper in it. So you use the hammer to basically smash those chunks down into the nuggets.
Okay. Right, into the nuggets.
So you literally need both tools to even get started.
Okay, cool. But we got both, so we're good.